India has now a new RBI governor. New RBI governor has been named. Sanjay Malhotra is going to take over from Shaktikant Das as the new RBI governor. He is the revenue secretary who is now the boss of the Reserve Bank of India. Sanjay Malhotra is the new RBI governor, and he was the revenue secretary in the government of India. Takes over from Shaktikant Das, whose tenure as the RBI chief has ended. So latest coming in, the Reserve Bank of India has a new boss. Sanjay Malhotra is the new RBI governor, who was the former revenue secretary, and he is now replacing Shaktikant Das, whose tenure has just ended. Let me go across to my colleague Maria Shakir for more on this. Maria, in fact, Sanjay Malhotra takes over as the new RBI chief. Once again, a bureaucrat, in fact, taking the top job at the RBI.
That's right. And December 9th, which is today, his 3-year tenure ends. Tomorrow, in fact, that is December 10th. And it was expected that a final decision regarding Mr. Shaktikant Das will be coming across today, whether he will get an extension or whether there would be a new replacement or new person who will take charge of the Reserve Bank of India. So the government of India going ahead with an appointment. The present revenue secretary has been given the responsibility of the Reserve Bank of India. Remember, there was this visit which was made by Shaktikant Das recently to Delhi, and there was a lot of speculation whether it had to do with him seeking extension for his role, but it was, finally communicated to us that it was just a courtesy call. Now, Sanjay, Okay, so what we are being told now is that Sanjay Malhotra is the new RBI governor. He is a 1990 batch officer. He is also from Punjab cadre. So his tenure is essentially a continuity from Modi 2.0 to now NDA 3.0, where we are seeing that in NDA government, his role was essentially continuing from the previous role where he was working in the finance ministry. Right now, one of the topmost bureaucrats in the government of India, as the revenue secretary, he had huge responsibilities in ensuring that the fiscal management was kept in check, and now he has been given that key role. Shaktikant Das not getting an extension, his tenure has ended, and now it is Sanjay Malhotra who has got that top job.
So Sanjay Malhotra gets the top job at the RBI. In fact, and as Maria was telling us, Shaktikant Das's tenure has ended. Maria, for the new boss of the RBI, what is it that we are looking forward to? Because at this moment, the last numbers of the economy, the GDP growth, not very good. So of course, the challenges for the new boss of the RBI are right from day one.
Yes, that's right. And there was a correction of sorts which was done by Shaktikant Das in his last press conference which he held, in which he said that the projected growth rate of India was around 6.6%, less than what he had projected earlier. But what was interesting in this regards was, Ankit, that previously, be it in case of Subbarao or even Mr. Bimal Jalan, they were informed 4 months or a month in advance that they will not be given an extension after the tenure ends. In case of Mr. Shaktikant Das, the suspense continued till the very last moment, till this moment. His tenure ends tomorrow, 10th of December, and now he has been told, and this has come in the form of an official order, when it is Sanjay Malhotra, one of the top bureaucrats, seen as almost eyes and ears of the government of India in terms of his functioning, has been an extremely professional bureaucrat who has served in the finance ministry at the level of the revenue secretary, has been given that role. Of course, the RBI governor has a tough task ahead for him. It's a task, one would say, cut out for his role, particularly keeping in mind whether there would be, when the next quarter numbers come, whether there would be some relief for the home buyers in particular, whether there will be some revisiting of the EMIs or other data. That remains to be seen. But for the moment, the breaking news that is coming in is that the revenue secretary is now the RBI governor.
Thank you, Maria, in fact, for all those details. But before I let you go, just one last question to you. at this moment. In fact, with the Revenue Secretary, former Revenue Secretary taking over as the RBI chief, it does help the government to keep in line with the economic policies that they want to, in fact, put in place with respect to various challenges that the government is facing.
Just a word on the leadership challenge that Mr. Das has. Shaktikant Das was touted, in fact, that he would get an extension. That was also doing the rounds, but for a third term. But that was not to be. That would have essentially meant that his tenure as the top boss of the Central Bank of India would have extended till December 2026. Now it is clear that the government has decided that the top job will now be going to a bureaucrat in Mr. Sanjay Malhotra, who is a 1990 batch IAS officer and also a Punjab cadre officer. So he has that nature of background in terms of his responsibilities. But I think the larger role as of now will be that he's a Rajasthan cadre officer, a word on that, but he will take charge from Wednesday. And the tenure of RBI governor is for a period of 3 years. And that is what the government statement has read. It has just been issued. But yes, for the RBI governor, they have always functioned independently in terms of their understanding of how the government's projections are. They have done corrections in that projection also, just as Mr. Shaktikant Das did just few days back. Had he got an extension, it would have been actually him heading the central bank for a third term till the end of 2026, but that was not to be. And information of this nature was also perhaps not communicated, is what our sources are indicating, and the final government order coming in a few minutes ago.